Sunday, November 30th, outskirts of Silvermines. The old stories all tell that when Balor freed the Watcher from his prison under the cloud spine, one arm was left trapped in his prison of solid rock. Bound by a powerful confinement dream, it should have remained there forever, but it didn't. We're 100 miles from Bagrada, and 2 days ahead of the rest of the Legion today, outside a town called Silvermines, looking for the Watcher's arm. You have no idea how small it makes you feel to be poking around the ruins of an abandoned town looking for the shriveled arm of the second or third most powerful sorcerer in living memory. I don't understand how the arm got to Silvermines, or how the Nine knew where to look for it, but I can tell they want it bad. They hope to use the Watcher's arm against him if we find it, rather like knowing his true name, only better. Again, I don't pretend to understand. Problem is, the Deceiver is thinking the same thing. Some of the Fallen are over millennia old, and their rivalries go back just as far. We know the Deceiver is looking for the arm too, and has been digging up Silvermines since last summer. We're going in this evening to grab it.
We've got a more typical unit loadout for this mission. No heroes or anything like that. Bunch of regular guys.
Yeah.
But since the last mission was all hero units, that means we don't have any veterans for this map. We're just dealing with a bunch of noobs here, so I'm going to have to keep that in mind, particularly when using the ranged units, because they're going to be less accurate and not as quick firing as what I'm used to. And leading the charge here, we've got this journeyman NPC. He's off to find the severed arm of the Watcher, and we have to guard him while he does that. So this is pretty familiar territory. It's sort of your basic myth escort mission. It's also a little bit of a double whammy, because if you look at the mission description where it says beware of enemy patrols, that's not just generic common sense advice.
Must keep moving towards the arm.
It's actually a specific tip on how we're supposed to play the mission. So along with being an escort mission, it's a stealth mission. There's these groups of roving enemies that we need to stay away from as much as possible. Well, speak of the devil. We have an example right here, and you can see that these patrols are featuring a new unit type that we haven't seen before, the Fetch, which is a charming creature that wears the skin of its enemies. We're going to avoid that particular group for now. This patrol is pretty easy to get past, but if you're wanting to see the Fetch in action, don't fret. We'll be seeing a lot more of them pretty soon. More than we want to, really. So if you're really bloodthirsty, you could try to engage all these patrols, but that would take a long time and you'd lose a lot of units. So we're going to be playing hide and seek with them.
I'm moving.
It's made a little more complicated by having to deal with Mr. Magoo here. He can wander around quite a lot while he looks for the arm. In this particular run through, he's really cutting a pretty straight path, so I do appreciate that. He also gets little anxiety attacks if you get too far away from him. So he's just a bundle of joy. I've detached 2 berserks here to kind of keep him company if he wanders off too far.
Yeah.
And the rest of my zerks will just stay with the ranged units. But it appears that that's unnecessary here. I know that a lot of games are notorious for shoehorning in a frustrating stealth mission
Let's go.
in the single-player campaign. And I guess this is kind of Myth's example of that. It's not too bad, but there is one kind of annoying part of it, which is that at this point in the game, you really haven't needed to figure out how close an enemy can get before they detect you.
Over here.
And then in this mission, it becomes really important to have a good feel for that. So it's kind of trial and error until you get it figured out. So, a glowing thing, what could it be?
Here it is.
Ooh, that's spooky.
Now we must escape through the graveyard.
Alright, we've got the severed, gloved forearm of the Watcher, and we're supposed to escape through the graveyard. But since the Journeyman isn't computer-controlled anymore, we don't know where the graveyard is. He's not going to guide us to it. Just kind of have to find that out all on our own. But the only major part of the map that we haven't visited yet is the northwest, so we'll head over there to check that out as soon as the coast is clear. If this patrol turns away from us, there they go. We should be able to just kind of follow along behind them,
Over here.
as long as we don't get too close. And I'm going to need to keep my archers on a short leash to make sure they don't attack. That would just be ironic. Kind of want to keep these guys at the edge of the screen.
I'm moving.
And we've got another patrol to the north. I think we'll be okay. We just slide over a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't seen us. And that other patrol is turning back to the south, so let's see if we can kind of split the defense here.
I'm moving.
Just go on about your business.
Over here.
Okay. I believe we're in the clear, so I'm just going to start heading west again. We've got a road or something here, which leads up to a graveyard, so that's the way we want to go. And of course, it's guarded. And this doesn't look like a moving patrol. They appear to be just guarding the road, so we need to take them out, and pretty quickly before another patrol comes up. So I'm going to use my two Zerks here as a little special detachment. Let's rename them Rod, for reasons that may become apparent pretty soon.
I'm moving.
So now we're going to get to see what Fetch do.
I'll do it.
Yeah, they zap stuff.
Let's go.
Casualty.
Oh, I lost a rod. Fortunately, the Zerk is kind of zapping its own units at the moment.
Sorry.
Alright, let's move everybody else up onto the road.
Get back up.
Oh, geez. He's in trouble. Let's see if we can get him a quick heal.
Yes.
That's one enterprising dwarf.
Over here.
Step aside.
God damn your eyes.
Okay, we have a little bit of a traffic jam,
I'm moving.
but I think we're going to be okay. There we go. Alright, we've got another patrol coming, so everybody up into the graveyard. Well, only one of our lightning rods survived, but I think that was a sacrifice that was worth it.
Let's go.
The graveyard here, by the way, if you look at the gravestones, they have names of Bungie employees on them, like Jason Jones here. Apparently the myth development process was pretty taxing. Alright, come on, Journeyman, you're the one carrying the thing we've come to get. So let's make sure that he gets away. Alright, just in time.
Let's go.
Let us flee. And I'll save this one. Okay, short and sweet, just like I like my stealth missions. I hope that nobody's too upset that I didn't choose just to battle through that one, but all the fights are pretty much just like that one at the end. And if you're tied up with Patrol A and then Patrol B comes along and piles into you, you're pretty much screwed. Even in the best case, you'd probably lose a unit with each fight. So I just decided to do this one the conventional way. And we came out of it with a nice grisly trophy, the severed arm of one of the fallen lords. It'll be interesting to see what sort of plan our leaders have that involve the use of something like that.
I'm moving.
Casualty. Casualty.